Good morning, students. Good morning. Oh, good afternoon, students. Good afternoon, boys and girls. It's I'm back again after quite a long break. I want you to look at the picture on the screen and try to recall the last lesson that I had done with you. So the screen is meant to help you. So do you remember what we had done last time? We had done a poem, isn't it? And which poem was that? What do you see on the slide? Yes, there's a mountain and there is a squirrel. So what we had done was the poem called Mountain, the Mountain and the Squirrel by Ralph Waldo Emerson. We had completed the poem. We had completed many of the exercises. And now we are going to continue with some of the activities that are connected with this poem. Okay, so just for the sake of a short recap, I will just read this poem once more. The poem is on page 83 of your textbook, so you can open your textbooks to page 83 and just let us read this, let us recite this poem together once before continuing with the activities. The Mountain and the Squirrel by Ralph Waldo Emerson. The mountain and the squirrel had a quarrel, and the former called the latter Little Prig. Bun replied, "You are doubtless very big, but all sorts of things and weather must be taken together to make up a year and a sphere. And I think it is no disgrace to occupy my place if I am not so large as you. You are not so small as I, and not half so spry. I'll not deny you make a very pretty squirrel track. Talents differ. All is well and wisely put. If I cannot carry forests on my back, neither can you crack a nut. So I think you all remember this poem. It is about the mountain and the squirrel. The mountain is very proud of its size, okay, and all that it can carry on its back. And he thinks, he's very condescending. He thinks, he feels very superior, and he thinks the tiny squirrel, he doesn't, he is not as good as the mountain. Mountain is large, so something to be proud of. So, but the squirrel says, the sphere, this earth, is made up of many things. Even the year is not all the same. It has many different kinds of seasons. So all kinds of things are needed to make are present in this planet and are all connected and are needed to make this planet a beautiful place to live in. And he says that there are many things that you can do. The squirrel tells the mountain, there are many things that you can do that I cannot do, but there are many things that I can do and you cannot do. So you can carry forests on your back, but you cannot, you are not very energetic. You are fixed in one place, and I'm very energetic. I can jump from place to place. I can climb trees. I mean, he's not saying this in the poem, but that is what it means. And I can crack a nut, and you cannot do that. So this is the poem. And of course, today the activities that we are going to do are not directly related to the poem, but they are connected more with language learning. So তোমালোকৰ লগত অকমান মই যেটো আমি কবিতা কৰিছিলো তোমালোকৰ মনলৈ আকৌ আনিবলৈ কাৰণে পঢ়াই দিবৰ কাৰণে অকমান কবিতাটো অকন পঢ়িলো আমি একেলগে পঢ়ি সকে ভাল পালা এতিয়া আমি আকৌ যিকিটা আমি এক্টিভিটি যত এৰিছিলো আমি তাত আকৌ এটা পুনৰ ঘূৰি যাম আমি এতিয়া activity আজি তোমাৰ page 7 কৰিম তোমালোকৰ যদি বহি কিতাপখন আছে লগত page 87 please turn to page 87 so let us look at this sentence okay that I'm going to write on the slide. The mountain said to the squirrel, "You are a little prig." So you remember the mountain had called the squirrel little prig, isn't it? So you are now going to learn something about the English language. So what you see here is called, you see the two commas here? You see the two commas here? You know what they are called? You do, isn't it? এই comma kita je dekhisa, jor majot ei shobdo kita lekha ase, you are a little prig. You know what they are called? Yes, you do. They are called inverted. They are called inverted commas, isn't it? They are called inverted commas. Now, here the mountain is the speaker. Okay, mountain is the speaker who is speaking these words. That means who has spoken this sentence. And the squirrel is the listener. The squirrel is the listener to whom this sentence is being spoken. So we have two things that we need to take note of. All right, এই লাইনটো তোমালোকে দুটা কথা লক্ষ্য কৰিব লাগিব এটা হৈছে ইয়াতে এটা কথা কোৱা হৈছে আৰু এটা বাক্য আছে বাক্যটো হৈছে কি you are a little prig এটা এই বাক্যটো you are a little prig কোনে কৈছে কওঁতাই কৈছে হয় না নহয় কওঁতা ইংলিশত কি বুলি কয় স্পিকাৰ বুলি কয় আৰু ইয়াতে স্পিকাৰ বা কৰ্তা কওঁতা কোন স্পিকাৰ হৈছে the mountain আৰু কাক কৈছে কাক কৈছে স্কুৱেৰেলক কৈছে হয় না নহয় আৰু স্কুৱেৰেল হৈছে লিসনাৰ স্কুৱেৰেল হৈছে লিসনাৰ ওকে আৰু মাউন্টেন হৈছে স্পিকাৰ এতিয়া স্পিকাৰে লিসনাৰৰ কথা যিখিনি কৈছে হেখিনি যদি অবিকল ভাবে তাৰমানে একেবাৰে একে শব্দ কিটা যদি তুমি কোৱা হেতুক আমি কিবা এটা ইংৰাজীত আমি কি বুলি কওঁ হেতুক আমি direct speech বুলি কওঁ when the exact words used by the speaker is written within inverted commas it is called direct speech so এই যে কমা ব্র্যাকেট কৰি দিছো এই ব্র্যাকেটৰ মাজত যিখিনি কথা আছে এখিনি হৈছে direct speech ঠিক আছে এখিনি হৈছে direct speech so direct speech or কিবা এটা লিখিলে when we write something in the direct speech what will you see what do you notice কি লক্ষ্য কৰিছা ইয়াত এটা হৈছে স্পিকাৰে যিখিনি কথা কৈছে হেখিনি inverted comma within inverted comma আছে in direct speech the words spoken by the speaker the exact words spoken by the speaker is given within inverted commas sorry here the inverted comma is a little untidy so this is the inverted comma this is what it looks like two commas on top of the sentence and what is the second thing the part where who is speaking to whom that is given that is separated from the actual words of the speaker by a comma so here there is a comma okay let me use another God. Let me write it again. The mountain said to the squirrel, comma, open inverted comma, you are a little prig. So the mountain is the speaker, the squirrel is the listener, and this is the direct speech, DS. Okay, so what do we notice? Let us look at the punctuation marks. This is not spoken by the speaker. This is spoken by the listener when the direct speech is being told to someone else. When the squirrel or someone who heard the mountain telling the squirrel, you are a little prig, that person is telling another person that the mountain said to the squirrel, what did he say? He uses the exact words, you are a little prig. So the exact words of the speaker are within inverted commas. And this part, which is used by the reporter. Who is the reporter? The reporter is the person who heard the conversation between the listener and the speaker and is reporting or narrating or telling that to someone else. So this part, the mountain said to the squirrel, is spoken by the reporter, and that is separated from the part which contains the actual or exact words of the speaker by a comma. Okay, so the mountain said to the squirrel, এইখিনি কথা কোনে কৈছে? এইখিনি কথা মাউণ্টেনেও কোৱা নাই, এইখিনি কথা স্কুইৰেলেও কোৱা নাই। মাউণ্টেন আৰু স্কুইৰেলৰ মাজত কথোপকথন যোনে শুনিছে তেওঁ কৈছে, হয় নে নহয়? শুনি পেলাই তেওঁ কাৰোবাৰ আনক কৈছে যে মাউণ্টেনে স্কুইৰেলক কি ক'লে জানা? ক'লে যে তুমি you are a little prig. এতিয়া এই কথাখিনি ৰিপৰ্টাৰে যেতিয়া হুবহু এক্সাক্ট ৱৰ্ডছ ইউজ কৰি কয় তেতিয়া লিখোতে ইনভাৰ্টেড কমাৰ মাজত লিখা হয় আৰু এই যেটো ৰিপৰ্টাৰে যিখিনি অংশ কথাটো স্পিকাৰে কোৱা কথাটো ইন্ট্ৰোডিউস কৰিবলৈ পৰিচয় কৰি দিবলৈ কয় হেখিনি লিখা হেখিনি আৰু ডাইৰেক্ট স্পিচৰ মাজত এটা পৃথক কৰিবলৈ কমা এটা থাকে সো এইখিনিলৈকে বুজিলা সকে so let us go to the next slide so ইয়াতে তোমালোকৰ কিতাপতে পাবা that the words we হেখিনি কথাকে ইংলিশত কৈছে the words used by the mountain to call the squirrel are given in inverted commas and when the exact words used by the speaker when the exact words used by the speaker is given in inverted commas, we call it direct speech. So, ekhini matro jikhini kotha kolu, hekhini ke tumalokok textbook ot janeke likhise, hekhini tumalokok ebar pohi dilu. Aha korisu etia ekhini loke clear hoise. You can rewrite the sentence by providing information indirectly. Etia jikhini ami etia loke kolu, hetu directly reporter information to provide কৰিছে নহয় ৰিপৰ্টাৰে ডাইৰেক্ট স্পিচত কৈছে ৰিপৰ্টাৰ মানে যোনে কথাখিনি শুনিছে তেওঁ কথাখিনি ডাইৰেক্ট স্পিচত কওঁতে কি কৈছে the mountain said to the squirrel you are a little prig এটো ডাইৰেক্ট এক্সাক্ট ওয়াৰ্ড ইউজ কৰিছে সো হিয়াতে ৰিপৰ্টাৰে কি কৈছে within inverted comma দিছে এটা এইখিনি কথাকে আমি আন এটা ধৰণে ক'ব পাৰো indirectly ক'ব পাৰো তাৰমানে পুনপটিয়াকে তেওঁ যি শব্দ ইউজ কৰিছে স্পিকাৰে হেখিনি ইউজ নকৰি আমি নিজৰ ভাষাত ৰিপৰ্টাৰে কথাখিনি ক'ব পাৰে খালি এটা কথা কৰিব লাগিব যে অৰ্থটো হলনি কৰিব নোৱাৰে সো এইটো the mountain said to the speaker you are a little prig এইটো যদি indirect speechত লিখিব লাগে তেতিয়া আকৌ the mountain told the squirrel এখিনি হৈছে ৰিপৰ্টাৰে কোৱা কথা হয়নে নহয় আৰু mountain হৈছে স্পিকাৰ আৰু squirrel হৈছে listener এতিয়া ইয়াতে যে মাজত কি আছিল কমা এটা আছিল সো কমাৰ হলনি ইয়াতে কি বহে তেতিয়া that বহে হা আৰু তাৰ পিছত ইয়াতে pronoun যিবোৰ আছে ইয়াতে মন কৰিবা pronoun to change হ'ব he you to হৈ যাব he তাৰ পিছতে verb to change হয় verb to হৈ যাব was আৰু তাৰপিছত বাকীখিনি লিখি দিয়া হয় তাৰমানে যিখিনি কথা ৰিপৰ্টাৰে কয় স্পিকাৰে লিসনাৰক কি কৈছিলে সেইখিনি ক'বলৈ দুই ধৰণে আমি ক'ব পাৰো এটা হৈছে আমি পোনপটীয়াকে ক'ব পাৰো প্ৰত্যক্ষভাৱে ক'ব পাৰো আৰু এটা হৈছে পৰোক্ষভাৱে ক'ব পাৰো প্ৰত্যক্ষভাৱে যেতিয়া কওঁ তেতিয়া within inverted comma স্পিকাৰে কোৱা কথাখিনি কওঁতাই কোৱা কথাখিনি ক'ব লাগিব আৰু যদি আমি পৰোক্ষভাৱে কওঁ তেতিয়া কি কৰিব লাগিব তেতিয়া আমি এটা বেলেগ ষ্টাইলত আমি কথাখিনি কওঁ within inverted comma নাথাকে আৰু তাৰ যিবোৰ pronoun আছে verbs আছে সেইবিলাকৰ অকমান পৰিৱৰ্তন হয় ঠিক আছে so this is an example of indirect speech বা indirect narration আৰু এটা example দিছে তোমালোকৰ কিতাপত চোৱা one said to the mountain you are very big তে এইটো ডাইৰেক্টত আছে কাৰণে তোমালোকে আকৌ মন কৰিবা স্পিকাৰ কোন স্পিকাৰ হৈছে one আৰু কাক কৈছে লিসনাৰ কোন এবাৰ লিসনাৰ হৈছে মাউন্টেন হয়নে নহয় এতিয়া এইখিনি কথা one said to the mountain এইখিনি কথা কোনে কৈছে স্পিকাৰেও কোৱা নাই লিসনাৰেও কোৱা নাই এইখিনি কথা ৰিপৰ্টাৰ বা নেৰেটৰে কৈছে ৰিপৰ্টাৰ বা নেৰেটৰে কৈছে তাৰমানে যোনে কথাখিনি শুনিছে শুনি পেলাই আনক কৈছে সেই তেওঁকে কয় ৰিপৰ্টাৰ বা নেৰেটৰ এটা যদি ৰিপৰ্টাৰ আৰু নাৰেটৰে ডাইৰেক্টলি আহি পেলাই কৈ দিয়ে ইউ আৰ ভেৰি বিগ তেতিয়া যাক কৈছে তেওঁ গম পাব নেকি যে কাৰ কথা কৈছে তেওঁ ভাবিব যে যাক কৈছে তেওঁৱে ভেৰি বিগ বুলি কৈছে ৰিপৰ্টাৰে হয় নে নহয় হেতুটো উল্টা হৈ যাব গতিকে ৰিপৰ্টাৰে বুজাব লাগিব প্ৰথমতে যে অমুকে তমুকক কৈছিলে সেইকাৰণে ইয়াতে বানে মাউন্টেনক কৈছিলে কাৰণে ৰিপৰ্টাৰে আগতে পৰিচয় দি ক'ব লাগিব যে বানে মাউন্টেনক কৈছিলে বান said to the mountain আৰু বানে মাউন্টেনক কি কৈছিলে সেইখিনি এক্সাক্ট ৱৰ্ডছ ইউজ কৰিলে তেতিয়া ইনভাৰ্টেড কমাৰ মাজত সেইখিনি শব্দ দিব লাগিব সো কৈছে ইউ আৰ ভেৰি বিগ এতিয়া যদি পৰোক্ষভাৱে কথাখিনি কয় ইনডাইৰেক্ট নেৰেশ্যনত কয় তেতিয়া কি কৰিব ৰিপৰ্টাৰে কথাটো কোৱাটো ৰিপৰ্টাৰৰ সেকশনখন আকৌ এনেকে থাকিব one told the mountain বা one said to the mountain বুলিও ক'ব পাৰা আৰু ইয়াতে যে কমা আছিলে কমাটো গুচাই ইয়াতে কি আহিব that কনজাংশনটো আহিব আৰু তাৰ পিছতে you are very big এতিয়া you are very big তুমি যদি কাৰবাক আহি পেলাই কোৱা you are very big হা তেতিয়াতো বুজি নাপাব না কথাটো যাক কৈছা তেৱেই very big বুলি কৈছা বুলি ভাবিব হয় নে নহয় সেইকাৰণে যেহেতু এটো মাউন্টেনৰ কথা কৈছে গতিকে ইউ বুলি মাউন্টেনক কৈছিলে নহয় এটা যোনে ৰিপৰ্টাৰে কৈছিলে তেওঁ বানু নহয় মাউন্টেনে নহয় গতিকে তেওঁ ক'ব লাগিব তেওঁৰ কথা কৈছে গতিকে কি ক'ব লাগিব ইউ টু চেঞ্জ কৰি কি কৰিব লাগিব হি ঠিক আছে আৰু ইয়াতে যেটো ভাৰ্ব আছে ইয়াতে ভাৰ্ব আছে ভাৰ্বটো সিম্পল প্ৰেজেন্ট টেন্সত আছে হেতু কি হৈ যাব সিম্পল past tense ঠিক আছে সো এনেকে ডাইৰেক্ট স্পিচটো কি কৰিব পাৰি ইনডাইৰেক্ট স্পিচলে ৰূপান্তৰিত কৰিব পাৰি কিন্তু ইয়াতে মন কৰিবা দুইটাতে ডাইৰেক্ট স্পিচে হওক বা ইনডাইৰেক্ট স্পিচ হওক whether the sentence is in direct speech or whether it is in indirect speech the meaning of the sentence that was spoken by the speaker cannot be changed কওঁতাই কোৱা কথাখিনিৰ অৰ্থটো সলনি কৰিব নোৱাৰা ইনডাইৰেক্ট কৰোতে পৰোক্ষ কৰোতে খালি কি কৰিব পাৰিবা অকমান pronoun verbs হেবিলাক অলমান তোমালোকে পৰিৱৰ্তন কৰিব পাৰিবা নহয় কৰিব লাগিব নহলে অৰ্থটো সলনি হৈ যাব ঠিক আছে এইবোৰ ডিটেইলত আমি আকৌ অলমান পিছত কৰিম এতিয়া let us look at the next section তোমালোকৰ কিতাপত কি কৈছে so what changes did you notice when the sentence in direct speech was turned into indirect speech so আমি যেটো নোটিস কৰিলা যেটো I cannot interact with you হেখিনি কথা মই already কৈয়ে দিছো so what changes did you notice কিতাপত যিখিনি আছে let us now read it so you must have seen that the inverted comma and the commas are removed so the inverted comma within which the exact words of the speaker was given that is removed in indirect speech and what else is removed the comma that separates the section which the reporter or narrator uses to narrate the direct speech okay the comma between those two parts of the sentence that is also removed then the second change is that the word that is used in place of the comma okay and finally the verb is changed are becomes was and the pronoun is also changed you becomes he Okay, so another thing, there is a note that is given in your textbook. It is said that punctuation is very important in direct speech. So you have to be very careful while using the comma that separates the part of the sentence which contains the introduction of the narrator or reporter and the part which contains the exact words of the speaker. And next, you have to be very careful where to put the full stop. So in this sentence, Bun said to the mountain, comma, you are very big. Sorry, you are very big. So please note where the full stop has been used. The full stop has been used inside the inverted commas, not outside the inverted comma. And this part, the part which is spoken by the narrator or reporter is separated from the part which contains the direct speech by a comma. Okay, and the full stop is not outside the inverted comma, it is inside the close inverted comma. So this is something you have to remember. This is very important. Punctuation is very important. The position of the commas and full stops and the inverted commas is very important while you write something in direct speech. And what happens in indirect speech? This comma is removed, and in place of the comma, one uses that. Then there is a change. You becomes he and are becomes was. Okay? So now let us move to the next slide. Look at this picture just to give you some practice for changing direct speech to indirect speech, or just give you to make you a little more familiar with narration. I have just two more examples for you. So you can see in the picture, you can see an old man and an old lady. They are talking to one another. So what is the old man here? What is the old man here telling the lady? Okay, so you can say the old man said, or you can say old man said to his wife. The old man said to his wife, I am hungry. So this man is telling his wife, this lady is his wife, he's saying that I am hungry. Yare sobikhon dekhisa, sobikhonot ejon বুঢ়া মানুহ আছে, আগবয়সীয়া মানুহ আছে আৰু এগৰাকী মহিলা আছে, আৰু মানুহজনে মহিলাগৰাকী তেওঁৰ পত্নীক কি কৈছে, I am hungry, মোৰ ভোক লাগিছে. So এই কথাখিনি the old man said to his wife, এইখিনি old maneও কোৱা নাই, wifeও কোৱা নাই. Old man হৈছে speaker কোন ইয়াত? Speaker হৈছে old man, হয়নে নহয়? আৰু listener কোন? Listener হৈছে wife, হয়নে নহয়? আৰু old মানে wife ৰ কোৱা exact words বা exact কথাখিনি কি? I am hungry. So exact word টো যিটো য'ত repeat কৰা হৈছে সেইখিনি কয় direct speech বা প্ৰত্যক্ষ direct speech. So আৰু এইটো হৈছে কি কয়, old man হৈছে speaker আৰু wife হৈছে listener. এতিয়া the old man said to his wife, এইখিনি কোনে কৈছে? Old man wife ৰ লগত কোৱা কথাখিনি third person যোনে শুনি আছিলে, তৃতীয় পুৰুষ হিচাপে যোনে শুনি আছিলে, তেওঁ এইখিনি কথা কৈছে. আৰু তেওঁ এইখিনি কথা কাক কৈছে? আনক কাৰোবাক কৈছে, হয়নে নহয়? So এই যোনে দুজন মানুহৰ লিসনাৰ আৰু স্পিকাৰৰ মাজত হোৱা কথোপকথন আনক যাক গৈ পেলাই কয় তাকে কয় ৰিপৰ্টাৰ বা নেৰেটৰ, হয়নে নহয়? ৰিপৰ্টাৰ বা নেৰেটৰ. So reporter আৰু বা নেৰেটৰে যিখিনি কথা কয় সেইখিনি ডাইৰেক্ট স্পিচৰ পৰা পৃথক কৰিবলৈ কি ব্যৱহাৰ কৰা হয়? এটা কমা ব্যৱহাৰ কৰে. তো এইটো আমি ইনডাইৰেক্ট কৰোঁতে আমি কেনেকৈ কৰিম আমি ৰুলখিনি চালোঁ নহয় ইয়াতে আমি অলৰেডি ৰুল চাই থৈছোঁ হয়নে এইটো ৰুল চাই থৈছোঁ কি কৰিব লাগে কমাৰ সলনি কমাটো ৰিমুভ কৰিব লাগে তাৰপিছত that এড কৰিব লাগে pronoun চেঞ্জ কৰিব লাগে আৰু tense চেঞ্জ কৰিব লাগে হয়নে নহয় so ইয়াতে এইটো কি হ'ব the old man told his wife বা said to his wife ও ক'ব পাৰা told his wife এতিয়া আমি কমাটো গুচাম হয়নে ৰুল মতে কি লিখিম তাৰপিছত that তাৰপিছত এতিয়া pronoun পালো I am hungry বুলি old man কৈছে গতিকে old man হৈছে মতা মানুহ গতিকে I am এটা narrator যদি গৈ পেলাই মই যদি narrator মই ইয়াত কথোপকথনটো মই কোৱা নাই কিন্তু মই যদি গৈ পেলাই তোমালোক যদি এতিয়া মোৰ মই তোমালোকৰ কথাখিনি গৈ পেলাই কৈছোগৈ এতিয়া মই যদি তোমালোকক কওঁ I am hungry তোমালোকে কি ভাবিবা ভাবিবা মই hungry কিন্তু মইতো hungry নহয় hungry কোন old man গতিকে এতিয়া মই I ক'ব নোৱাৰো মই কি ক'ব লাগিব he ঠিক আছে তাৰপিছত he লগত কি হ'ব he এতিয়াতো এটা I am hungry ইয়াতে যেতিয়া কথাখিনি ডাইৰেক্ট চিনেমাৰ নিচিনা হৈ আছে তেতিয়া I am hungry প্ৰেজেন্ট টেন্সত কৈছে কিন্তু মই যেতিয়া তোমালোকৰ কথাখিনি কম গৈ হেতুটো হৈ গল গতিকে অতীতত গল হয়নে নহয় গতিকে I am ক'ব নোৱাৰো ইয়াতে কি ক'ব লাগিব I know ইয়াতে he was hungry so the old man told his wife that he was hungry so ইয়াতে I to he কেলে হয় হেতু সক অকন বুজি পাইছা আৰু am to was কিয় হৈছে হেতু বুজি পাইছা কাৰণ সময়ৰ পৃথক আছে যেতিয়া কথাখিনি কৈ আছিলে ইয়াতে ছবিত যেতিয়া ডাইৰেক্ট চলচিত্ৰত কোৱাৰ দৰে হৈ আছে তেতিয়া I am hungry বুলি কৈছে কিন্তু নেৰেটৰ হিচাপে তেওঁলোকে কোৱা কথাখিনি মই শুনি তোমালোকক যেতিয়া কম তেতিয়া he was hungry বুলি নকয় he am hungry বুলি মই ক'ব নোৱাৰো কাৰণ এনিৱে কথাটো হৈ গল am to এনেও গ্ৰামাটিক্যালি ৰং আৰু তাৰোপৰি কামটো অলৰেডি অতীতত হৈ গল হয়নে নহয় গতিকে সেই কাৰণে মই ইয়াত কি ক'ব লাগিব was ক'ব লাগিব আৰু যেহেতু মই হাংগ্ৰি নহয় তেওঁহে হাংগ্ৰি আছিলে গতিকে I টো কি হ'ব লাগিব he I hope this is clear now let us do the next one এখিনি মই এখিনি অসমীয়াত ক'লো এখিনি মই ইংলিছত ৰিপ্লাই কৰিম the wife replied তে এখিনি কথা যেতিয়া old man wife of ক'লে the wife replied এখিনি মই তোমালোকক কৈছো wife কি কৰিছে সেইকাৰণে মই the wife replied বুলি কৈছো exact words of কি কৈছে wife I have cooked a nice lunch for you তোমাৰ ভুক লাগিছে আমি কৈছে না তেতিয়া ওয়াইফে কৈছে হা মই তোমাৰ কাৰণে ভাল লাঞ্চ এটা ৰান্ধি থৈছো I have cooked a nice lunch for the হেতু মই তোমালোকক ডাইৰেক্টলি তেওঁ ওয়াইফে ব্যৱহাৰ কৰা এক্সাক্ট ওয়াৰ্ড ইউজ কৰিছো কাৰণে within inverted comma দিছো এতিয়া মই এক্সাক্ট ওয়াৰ্ড ইউজ নকৰিও ওয়াইফে কোৱা কথাখিনি তোমালোকক ক'ব পাৰিম হয় নে নহয় যদি হেতু হ'ব হেতু ইনডাইৰেক্ট নেৰেশ্যন বুলি কয় সো ইনডাইৰেক্ট নেৰেশ্যনত কোনতে মই কেনেকৈ ক'ব লাগিব the wife replied এখিনি কোনে কৈছে মই কৈছো তাৰমানে ৰিপৰ্টাৰে কৈছো sorry the wife replied ইয়াৰে কমাটো আছে কি এটা কমা সলনি কি বহিব what will you use in place of the comma correct we are going to use that and then can I say the wife replied that I have cooked a nice lunch for you no because then you will not it will not indicate that the wife has cooked you will think that I have cooked isn't it so instead of I have to use she because the wife is a woman she so yete have cooked kobo nwaru kan tetia cook korisile etia to cooking hoi gol so now I have to say I have to change the tense of this verb I have to make it into past perfect so present perfect I have to use it as a past perfect tense that she had cooked a nice lunch ako for you kobo nwaru for you বুলি কলে তোমালোকৰ কাৰণে কৰিছো বুলি বুজিব নহয় so I have to say for him you বুলি কাক বুজাইছে you বুলি তেওঁক বুজাইছে হয় না husband so that is why you to change হব him so you have noted the rules that we observed in the previous sentences regarding the mountain and the squirrel and the changes that were made in the punctuation and the pronouns and the verbs we have repeated the same things in these two sentences so while converting the direct sentence into indirect sentence So indirect speech. So I hope you are clearer now. There is great clarity in understanding what is direct speech, what is indirect speech. Direct speech is when the reporter listens to what two persons are saying, that is listener and speaker, and reports or tells someone else using the exact words of the speaker. And indirect speech is when the reporter or the narrator does not use the exact words of the speaker, but uses his or her own words without changing the meaning of the sentence, without changing the meaning of what the original speaker had spoken. So I hope you are quite clear. And then there are certain rules of punctuation that you have to take note of. What is the first rule? That the comma which separates the part of the sentence which contains the introduction of the reporter or narrator, that has to be separated from the direct speech or the exact words of the speaker by a comma, and then the exact words of the speaker is given within inverted commas. And please do not forget to put the full stop inside the closed part of the inverted comma. Okay? And when you change it to direct, what do you have to do? You have to, now after you write the introduction or the introductory part of the sentence which is spoken by the narrator to indicate who is the listener, speaker, and who is the listener, then in place of the comma you have to use that. And then because the narrator is not the same person usually as the speaker, therefore you have to change the pronouns. And since there is a gap between the time of the action when the speaker and the listener were talking, and therefore, and when the narrator narrates it to you, therefore, or someone else, therefore you have to change the tense. Okay, so I think you are more or less clear now about these points. So there is another example that I have for you here. This is again, look at this picture. In this picture, there is a family which is riding in a bus, and in one seat you have a mother and a daughter, and behind them is the father and the son. Now, what is the little girl telling the mother? The little girl is telling the mother, I am feeling sleepy. Okay, and the boy is saying to his father, please let me check your wallet. This is a wallet. It is his father's wallet and he wants to check it. So the little girl, you can see she's leaning on her mother because she's feeling sleepy. So she's telling the mother, I am feeling sleepy. Now suppose I am another passenger in the bus and I want to tell you what the little girl is telling the mother, what has told the mother. So I tell you, listen, do you know what this little girl is telling the mother? The little girl is said to her mother, you know what she said to her mother? She said, I am feeling sleepy. So if I want to use the exact words of this little girl, then I am going to say, I am going to put the words in within, yes, within inverted commas. And this part, who is speaking this part? This part is spoken by the narrator. In this case, I am narrating to you, isn't it? এইখিনি কথা কোনে কৈছে? নেৰেটৰে কৈছে। ইয়াতে ধৰা মই নেৰেটৰ, মই শুনিছো মাকক ছোৱালীজনীয়ে কি কৈছে, গতিকে তোমালোকক কৈছো জানা কি কৈছে ছোৱালীজনীয়ে মাকক? কি ক'লে? কৈছে I am feeling very sleepy. So এই কথাখিনি মই কৈছো, অৰ্থাৎ নেৰেটৰে কৈছে বা অন্য হ'ব পাৰে নেৰেটৰ. So this part is spoken by the narrator. আৰু the little girl কোন? Little girl হৈছে speaker, আৰু এইফালে mother হৈছে, little girl কাক কৈছে? Speaker কাক কৈছে? Listener কৈছে, listener হৈছে mother. আকৌ এটা separate কৰিবলৈ comma, আৰু actual word to যিটো little girl কৈছে সেইখিনি কি? I am feeling very sleepy. So actual by exact words খিনি Hekimi said direct speech. That is the direct speech. I mean, I don't want to use the exact words. As a narrator, I want to tell you what the little girl told her mother, but I don't want to use the exact words of the little girl. But I want to tell you the exact meaning of what she said. So then how am I going to narrate this to you, tell this to you? I am going to use indirect narration or indirect speech. So what am I going to say? I'm going to say the little girl said to her mother but told her mother. Now I have to remove this comma, isn't it? What do I have to put in place of the comma? Correct. I have to put that, the conjunction that, joining word that. And then I have to remove this open inverted comma. Now, I am the narrator, but I am not feeling sleepy. Do I look sleepy to you? No, I am not sleepy. So, who is sleepy? The little girl in the picture is sleepy. So, I have to say, I have to change the pronoun. So, which pronoun is that? Little girl, can I use he? No, because this little girl cannot be he. So, I have to use she. Correct. And then, I'm feeling sleepy. She was feeling sleepy at that time. Perhaps now she's playing. She has maybe got off the bus. She has reached home and probably she's having her lunch or whatever. So we cannot use I am feeling sleepy. She am feeling sleepy. I have to write she was feeling. Because at that time she was feeling sleepy, isn't it? She was, sorry, this is a little untidy. Please forgive me for that. I apologize. She was feeling sleepy. And we don't need to use the inverted comma. So now let us look at the second sentence. In this sentence, what is the sentence? The boy is, this sentence is telling us what the boy is saying to the father. So what is this little boy telling the father? The little boy is telling the father, please let me check your wallet. So here the boy, now you have to note that this reporting speech here is in the present tense. Here it was in the past tense. So because it was in the past tense, we had to change the tenses. Now the boy is saying to the father, please let me check your wallet. Now imagine I am in the bus and you are sitting next to me and you want me to tell you like a cricket commentary, direct commentary, what is the boy telling the father? And I was listening, so I could tell you what the father was saying. I'm saying, the boy is saying to his father, please let me check your wallet. So the reporting is being done at the same time. So since the reporting is being done at the same time, there will be no change of tenses. Okay. So here the boy is saying to his father, I have to remove the comma, that, oh sorry, here of course this is not an assertive sentence, this is an imperative sentence. Imperative sentence is a sentence through which you make a request or a command, okay, or you give advice. So I will do this narration a little in detail in my next class, but for today I will just show you how this is done. If it is a request, you have to remove the please, which indicates request. So here you have to change this also. I have to remove this. Okay. So then the boy is saying to the father, the boy is saying to his father. So it's, oh, I'm very sorry, I'm making the same mistake. Sorry, please don't do what I have done. Don't be so careless. Okay. Be careful. The boy is requesting. Please means request, isn't it? So the boy is requesting his father. After requesting, you don't have to use to. So you have to write, boy is requesting his father remove the comma, and also remove please, because we have already used the word requesting. That is the rule. I'll explain the rule in my next class. For now, just look at this sentence can be narrated in indirect speech. So the boy is requesting his father. Then in place of the comma, you have to put to. We have already, I have said that please is not needed because the requesting verb has been used. And to let me becomes him, isn't it? Because me is the boy, isn't it? So me becomes him. And then to let him check, then your wallet, not my wallet, but the father's wallet. So therefore his wallet, to check his wallet. So this sentence is, of course, it will require much explanation, and when we do this narration in greater detail, narration of imperative sentences, you will do it in higher classes, maybe perhaps, or maybe in the next class I'll give you a few rules. So then you will know why this is being done. So, but for you all, actually, probably I should not have used this example here. Nevertheless, this is for assertive sentences. If you find this confusing, don't don't feel nervous about it. You can do it later. Focus on the kind of sentences that were given earlier. Okay, so now we will look at the exercises that have been given to you in activity 7, and we are going to practice. We are going to practice how to change these sentences which are given in direct speech to indirect speech. I'm going to change the color so that it is clearer for you. So here Anurag said to Anu, you are a lazy girl. So which is the part which is being spoken by the reporter? Just think that I am the reporter, or I am the narrator. I am the one who is listening to everyone's conversations, okay, and telling you. Okay, so who is the narrator? I am the narrator. And what I heard the conversation between Anurag and Anu. And who's the speaker here? Correct. The speaker is Anurag. And who is the listener? Listener is Anu. Isn't it? Now, which is the part spoken, which is used to introduce the speech of Anurag to Anu by the narrator? Yes, correct. Anurag said to Anu. This part is this is the introductory part. Introductory speech which is spoken by the reporter. In this case, I am the reporter. Okay, so this part is separated from the direct speech of Anurag, that means the exact words of Anurag, by a comma. Can you see the comma? And then the exact words of Anurag are within inverted commas. This is an open inverted comma in front, and this is the closed inverted comma. And the sentence where it ends, you have to put a full stop. You know that. And you have to put the full stop before you close the inverted commas. Okay. So now when we change it into this sentence into indirect narration, let us do it very quickly, because by now I think you know how to do it. So Anurag said to Anu, you have to remove the comma, that, now who is you here? You is Anu, isn't it? So she. Now you have to use was. She was a lazy girl. Let me do another one for you. Anu said to Anurag, you are doubtless very smart. So again, the narrator says this part, that Anu said to Anurag. Who is speaking to whom? The narrator, I have to tell you. Otherwise, you are doubtless very smart. You will think that I am telling you, you are doubtless very smart. I mean, you may be very smart, but nevertheless, this is not what I am saying. This is what Anu is saying to Anurag. So here again, Anu is the speaker and Anurag is the listener. And you have to separate the two parts. That means the part which is narrated or introduced by the narrator from the actual or exact words of the speaker, in which case that is also called direct speech with by a comma, and then you have to put the exact words within the inverted commas. So what is Anu saying to, what did Anu say to Anurag? Anu told Anurag that you are doubtless very smart. Now, how are we going to say this? How am I going to tell this to you? In indirect speech. I have told this to you in direct speech, and I have said Anu said to Anurag, and I have used the exact words, and I've said you are doubtless very smart. Now, so you know what Anu has told Anurag. Now, I can tell you the same thing in indirect speech. How will I say that? Anu said to Anurag, comma, you have to remove and put that, remove the inverted comma, you becomes she. No, because this time Anu is saying to Anurag. So Anu is calling Anurag you. So you have to write he. Okay? Then we have to change the tense. He was doubtless very smart. So I have done two for you, and I have given you some examples here as well, isn't it? And I have also explained to you what has been written in the text, isn't it, regarding changing of direct speech to indirect speech. So, and these two I have done for you. These two I have done for you. So, today I will end this class by giving you some homework. And you are going to complete sentences 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And in my next class, I am going to discuss the answers with you, so you can check whether your answers and the answers that I give you, they are the same. And if they are, then that is very good. You have followed this how to change direct narration into indirect narration. If you have not been able to do correctly, not a problem. You can always do your corrections, and you can always repeat. The class can be repeated. You can ask for help. Okay, so doesn't matter if you can't do it in one go. You will all, with practice you will improve. So I will end my class here. We will continue with the remaining activities and a little bit more about narration in my next class. So till then, goodbye and thank you.